Hello, friends. This is Mrs. Kelly, and I'm back on a Friday to read another Science I Can Read book that my grandfather gave me for a bedtime story on a Friday night. There will be one more. It'll be next Thursday night. That's the last day of school, and I will get that up and posted next week. But to this book is called Let's Get Turtles. It is another book by Millicent E. Selsam, and the drawings are by Arnold Lobel. And to all of you parents who might be listening, I apologize if your students are now asking for microscopes and spiders and butterflies and now turtles. But what's exciting about these books is, I never had turtles or a microscope when I was a kid, and I didn't even really try. I wasn't ever successful in keeping a caterpillar all the way to a butterfly. But I really like these books because they help you understand everything that the animals need or everything that a person can do. And it teaches you kind of how to think about the science behind the animals. So this book, Let's Get Turtles, is about two boys. We'll learn their names in a second. And they have tiny, tiny turtles. Here's the title page. Let's Get Turtles by Millicent E. Selsam, drawings by Arnold Lobel. There's a little tiny turtle. And I don't usually read this part. I'm going to read it because I find it interesting. It says, "For Billy Schlitt and Gerald Fried, the real Billy and Jerry." This is the dedication. When an author writes a book, sometimes they write that book with someone in mind, and they dedicate that book to them. And so this book is about two boys, and the two boys in the book are Billy and Jerry. And Billy Schlitt and Gerald Fried are the two boys who were the real boys that the author is writing about. And here they are. "A turtle is not a pet," said Jerry. "Yes, it is," said Billy. "No, it is not," said Jerry. "I want a pet that wags its tail when I get home." "My mother won't let me have a dog," Billy said. "So what?" said Jerry. "I think my mother will." "Look, Jerry," asked Billy, "are we friends?" "Yes," said Jerry. "Well," said Billy, "let's get the same pets. Let's get turtles." "Why turtles?" asked Jerry. "Well, they don't bark," said Billy. "No," said Jerry. "But they don't wag their tails either." Billy thought. Then he said, "Turtles don't take up much room, and they do not cost as much as a dog." "No," said Jerry, "but fish do not take up much room, and they do not cost much either." "But I already had a goldfish," said Billy. "Let's go to the pet store to look at the turtles." "Oh, all right," said Jerry. And there they are. They're going into the pet store. And I'll tell you what, this book was written a long time ago. So the prices that they're going to see on the pets and on the supplies are not the prices you would see today. Billy and Jerry went to the pet store. They found the turtles. Little green turtles were slipping on and off a big rock in the tank. "What kind of turtles are these?" asked Billy. "Red ears," said the pet store man. "See the red mark on each side of the head?" "How much are they?" asked Jerry. 50 cents each," said the pet store man. Billy said, "We will be back. Save a few turtles for us." There, look at all those tiny little turtles. Billy and Jerry walked home. "Where will we keep the turtles?" asked Jerry. "I can use my old fish tank," said Billy. "I will have to buy something," said Jerry. The next day, Billy and Jerry went back to the pet store. Billy bought 2 turtles. Jerry bought 2 turtles and a turtle bowl. There they are. They went to Billy's house. Billy got out the fish tank. He put 1 inch of water in it. He put a big rock in the center. "What is the rock for?" asked his mother. "So the turtles can dry off, I guess," said Billy. "Why do you have water in the tank in the first place?" asked his mother. "I don't know," said Billy, "but they have water in the tank at the pet store." Jerry put water and a rock in his turtle bowl. "Now what do we do?" asked Billy. "We should have asked the pet store man." "Well," said Jerry, "let's go back." It's no good having a pet if you do not know how to take care of it. Billy and Jerry went back to the pet store. "How do we take care of the turtles?" Billy asked. "I don't know much about turtles," said the pet store man, "but here is a book about them." "How much?" asked Billy. 35 cents, said the pet store man. "I'll take one," said Billy. "And I have turtle food," said the pet store man. "How much?" asked Billy. 25 cents. "I'll take a box," said Billy. "Me too," said Jerry. "Wait a few days before you feed them," said the pet store man. "Let them get used to the new tank, and change the water every few days." There he is. There's the pet food, the turtle food. Billy and Jerry went to Billy's house. "Give me the book," said Jerry. "Read about food," said Billy. "All right," said Jerry. "Here it is. What turtles eat. Some turtles eat small animals. Some turtles eat animals and plants. Some turtles eat only plants." "What about red ears?" asked Billy. Jerry looked in the book. Red ears, red ears. Here it is. Red-eared turtles must eat under the water. "That is why they need water in the tank," said Billy. Jerry read on. Red-eared turtles eat worms, meat, shrimp, fish, fruits, and vegetables. "What about the turtle food in the box?" asked Billy. "Nothing here about that," said Jerry. "Well, they call it turtle food, so turtles must eat it," said Billy. "We can try it," said Jerry. There they are. When Billy's father came home, Billy showed him the turtles. "Well," said his father, "turtles! I used to have turtles when I was a boy. Do you know how to take care of them?" asked Billy. "I know a few things," said his father. "Most of these pet turtles came from warm places in the south. The water in the tank should be warm. The turtle's blood gets as warm or as cold as the water it lives in." If you've heard that turtles are cold-blooded, that's what it means. The turtle's blood gets as warm or as cold as its surroundings. "When I go in the water, does my blood get as cold as the water?" asked Billy. "Try it," said his father. "Try it when you take your bath." "I'll take a bath now," said Billy. His father came in with 2 thermometers. They're thinking about they're thinking about the turtles and what turtles need to be healthy. He put the longer thermometer in the water. "How cold is it?" he asked Billy. "Cold," said Billy. "Look at the red line near the numbers," said his father. "I think it says 80, said Billy. "Right," said his father. "The water is 80 degrees. Now put this thermometer in your mouth." "That's the one Mother uses to see if I have a fever," said Billy. He put the thermometer in his mouth. Keep quiet for a few minutes, said his father. After 3 minutes, Billy's father read the thermometer. So look, there's Billy. He has one thermometer in his mouth to see what his temperature is, and he has one thermometer in the bathtub to see what the water temperature is, and then he can compare them. It says 98.6, he said. That's normal, said Billy. Yes, said his father. That's the temperature you have unless you are sick. And the water is only 80, said Billy. So I am warmer than the water. So if you've heard people say that mammals and people are warm-blooded, that's what it means. We can be warmer than the cold surroundings around us. The water is only 80, said Billy, so I am warmer than the water. Later, Billy and his father went to the tank. Billy put the long thermometer into the water. He looked at the red line. 70, he said. Oh, they're checking the temperature inside the tank. Now can I take the turtles' temperatures? We don't have the right kind of thermometer, said his father. So take my word for it. The turtles are about 70 degrees too. The water for these turtles should be between 75 and 85 during the day, and not below 65 at night. How do I keep it that way? Asked Billy. I forgot how we did that, said his father. In the morning, Billy went to the tank. Billy looked at the thermometer. 65, he said. My turtles must be 65 too. After lunch, Billy looked at the thermometer again. 70, he said. That is not warm enough. Oh, Billy looks a little worried. What could he do so that the turtles are warm enough? Billy went to see Jerry. He took the thermometer with him. How are your turtles? Asked Billy. Look fine, said Jerry. Jerry's turtle bowl was on the windowsill. There it is. Do you think Jerry's going to have trouble with the temperature? Let's find out. The sun was shining. Do you know how warm your turtles are? Asked Billy. No. Do you? Asked Jerry. Billy took the thermometer from his pocket. He put it in the water. 90, he said. Your turtles are almost as warm as you are. How warm am I? Asked Jerry. You are always 98.6 unless you are sick. But a turtle's temperature, said Billy, is the same as the water's temperature. Ooh. I forget, was 90 degrees a good temperature for the turtles? Do you know how cold my turtles were this morning? 65. How do you know? Asked Jerry. The water was 65, said Billy. And my father says a turtle's temperature is the same as the water. Why didn't you take the turtles' temperatures? Asked Jerry. I wish I could have, said Billy. But we did not have the right thermometer. Why do you want to know how warm the turtles are anyway? Asked Jerry. My father says these turtles come from warm places. They must be kept warm, said Billy. My turtles are warm, said Jerry. They are 90 now. It's resting with its legs tucked inside its shell. And here it's stretching and walking around. That is too warm, said Billy. The sun is making the water too hot. But see what happens tonight. All right, said Jerry. Leave your thermometer here. The next morning, Jerry looked at the thermometer. 55, he cried. He called Billy on the telephone. My turtles are too cold now, he said. Take the bowl off the windowsill, said Billy. The water gets too hot there during the day, and it gets too cold at night. All right, I'll move them, said Jerry. But are your turtles the right temperature? No, said Billy. The water goes down to 65 at night. That is all right, but it only goes to 70 during the day, and that is too cold. The water should be between 75 and 85 then. How do you know what the water should be? Asked Jerry. My father told me, said Billy, but he can't remember how to keep it that way. Let's go to the pet store and see how they do it, said Jerry. Billy and Jerry met at the pet store. There was a thermometer in the turtle tank. It said 85. Look, there's the thermometer. So how are those turtles staying so warm? That light in the tank must be keeping the water warm, said Jerry. We could put a light over our turtles. I'll try it, said Billy. Me too, said Jerry. That afternoon, Billy put a lamp over his tank. He put the thermometer into the water. Later, he looked at it. 75! It works, he said. Yeah, there's the light. He called Jerry on the telephone. Did yours work? He asked. I think so, said Jerry. The water feels warm, but bring your thermometer. Billy took his thermometer to Jerry's house. He put it in the turtle bowl. 80! These lamps work fine, he said. At night we'll turn them off, but if it gets very cold in the house, we can leave the lights on all night. Good idea, said Jerry. There they are. These are the older kind of lights that give off light and heat. So these do a good job at keeping the turtles warm. Now, if you have ever been in my classroom, and when you were in kindergarten, we talked about my bearded dragon. And my bearded dragon has a special type of a light that gives off heat that keeps the bearded dragon warm. So there are special lights, but old style lights, they worked too back in the day. The next day, Jerry called Billy. He said, Now our turtles are warm enough, but isn't it time we fed them? Yes, said Billy. I'm going to try turtle food, said Jerry. I'm going to try fish, said Billy. Jerry took some turtle food from the box. He put it in the turtle bowl. The turtles did not move. Jerry picked up a turtle. He put it near the food. The turtle moved away. He picked up the other turtle. He put it near the food. The turtle touched the food with its mouth. Then it moved away. I wonder why. Now what? Thought Jerry. I can't stay here all day. How will I know if the turtles eat? I know. I will count the pieces. There were 6 pieces. Look, you can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jerry went away. He came back an hour later. There were still 6 pieces. The next day, there were still 6 pieces. The turtles were not eating. Jerry went to Billy's house. Did your turtles eat the fish? He asked. Yes, said Billy. Watch me and I'll show you how. He went to the kitchen and got a roll. He put the roll at the edge of the table. Now, I'm a turtle, he said. I come along under the water. I grab the roll with my mouth. Now I push with one hand. Now I push with the other hand. Now I have a piece of roll in my mouth. Look, he's doing it. I swallow it. Then I grab the roll in my mouth again, and I push with one hand. I bet he looked pretty funny doing that. Stop, cried Jerry. "That's enough. But listen, my turtles did not eat anything." "Then try fish," said Billy. Jerry got some fish from the fish store. He cut it up into little pieces. He put some in the turtle bowl. One turtle came along. It touched the fish with its mouth. Then it moved away. The other turtle came along. It touched the fish with its mouth. Then it moved away. "Now what will I do?" Jerry asked his mother. "These turtles will not even eat fish." "Well, take out the fish anyway," said his mother. "It will make the water smell if it stays there too long. That is one thing I know." Yep, raw fish can get pretty stinky. The next day, Jerry tried ground meat. The turtles did not eat it. Then he tried a piece of banana. The turtles did not eat it. Each time he took out the uneaten food. He wanted to keep the turtle bowl clean, but his turtles were not eating. Jerry went to see Billy. "What shall I do, Billy?" he asked. "My turtles will not eat anything." "Let's call the zoo," said Billy. "They have lots of turtles there. They will know what to do." Billy asked his mother to call the zoo. "Please let me talk," said Jerry. "All right," said Billy's mother. Well, I can tell Jerry is really worried about his turtles. She called the zoo. "May I please speak to someone who knows about turtles?" she said. Then she gave the phone to Jerry. "Hello," he said. "Can you tell me why my turtles will not eat?" He listened. When Jerry hung up, Billy asked, "What did they say?" "The man said to try some live worms," said Jerry. "He said I can get them at the pet store." "Go right home," said Billy. "I will be there in a minute." In a few minutes, Jerry's doorbell rang. It was Billy. "Here is a present," he said. He took the lid off a paper cup. Inside there were little red worms. "Try some," said Billy. Jerry put a few worms in the bowl. Jerry and Billy sat quietly. "Do you think it'll work?" One turtle was moving. Its long neck stuck out of its shell. It stopped. Then its mouth opened and snap! One worm was gone. The turtle moved along. Snap! Another worm was gone. That little container of worms, that's what they wanted to eat. Billy and Jerry looked at each other. "It's working! It's working!" cried Jerry. "My troubles are over." For a week Jerry gave worms to his turtles. They ate every one. Then he started to give them other things to eat. Look, here they are. Look how tiny those worms are. Super duper tiny little red worms. He gave them fish. They ate it. He gave them meat. They ate it. "My turtles are eating everything," he said to his mother. Look how happy he is. "You ought to call the man at the zoo to thank him," she said. "Call him for me, please," said Jerry. His mother called the zoo. She asked for the keeper of the turtles. "Hello," said Jerry. "This is Jerry. Remember? I called you about my turtles. You told me to give them worms. Well, it worked. Now my turtles are eating everything." He turned to his mother. "The man at the zoo says to come and see their turtles." "We will go on Sunday," said his mother. "Let's take Billy," said Jerry. On Sunday, Billy and Jerry went to the zoo. They found the turtle house. They asked to see the turtle keeper. Tell him it's Jerry, said Jerry. A man came out. Which one is Jerry? He asked. Here I am, said Jerry. And this is Billy. He has turtles too. Look. Now, some of you might know what kind of animal these are. And I don't call them turtles. I call them tortoises. I've seen Galapagos tortoises that look like this. I am glad your turtles are eating now, said the man. I want to ask you something, said Jerry. Why don't turtles eat turtle food from the box? Some do, said the turtle keeper, but the food in the box is mostly dried flies. Turtles need more food than that. We give our baby turtles fish, cut up into little pieces, and ground meat. That makes a good turtle dinner. We feed it to them 3 times a week. That is what I am going to do, said Billy. Me too, said Jerry. Can you imagine only having to eat 3 times a week? And by the way, said the turtle keeper, we add bone meal to the meat. What is that for? Asked Jerry. To help the shell grow, said the man. Where can we get it? Asked Jerry. At the 5 and 10, said the man. A 5 and 10 is like what a dollar store is. That's what they used to call them. At the 5 and 10, said the man. A little cod liver oil helps too. Vitamins, you know. Billy and Jerry looked at each other. Then the turtle keeper said, Why don't you try something for me? Well, there are all the turtles at the zoo. I wonder what the zookeeper wants them to do. Jerry, you give your turtles the turtle dinner. Add a pinch of bone meal to the meat. Billy, you do the same, but add a drop of cod liver oil to the meat once a week. Billy and Jerry were quiet. Then Billy said, Is this an experiment? Yes, said the turtle keeper. Let me know what happens, will you? A month later, Jerry wrote a letter to the turtle keeper. There's the turtles. So they're going to do an experiment. They're all going to get a turtle dinner. All the turtles are going to get a turtle dinner. They're all going to get bone meal, but only one set of turtles is going to get cod liver oil. Now, I'll tell you something. The boys, they're going to make a mistake, and they're going to explain it in just a moment. And it's a mistake that a lot of people make when they start an experiment. Here's what the letter says. It said, Dear Turtle Keeper, Billy and I are doing what you said. His turtles and mine still look about the same. We can't be sure, though. We should have measured when we started our experiment. We measured them today. We will write again in a few weeks. Your friend, Jerry. And that's the end of the book. They're doing an experiment, and we do not know what the results are. But this is the important thing. They don't know which turtles grew the most because they didn't measure when they started their experiment. I wonder, what do you think? I wonder how cod liver oil would help. It does make me curious. And that is the book, Let's Get Turtles. It ends with a lot of questions, but they do help you understand how to set up an experiment and what to think about. I hope you enjoyed this book too. Take care. Bye-bye.